Hello, everyone, and welcome into an all-new edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show right here on the Sports Stove Media Network. And we are rolling right along. Free agency is popping. If you missed our episode, we dropped earlier this week. Talked about the Max Crosby stuff, good signings, things that we thought was impactful, all that kind of stuff. Now we go back to the draft today, and we're looking at the top 100 on our big board. Today's episode is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. I'm telling you, it's the best jerky you've ever had. The texture is so perfect. The flavors are, it's incredible. You got to try it out. Righteousfelon.com. And if you use the code STOVE15, you get 15% off your purchase each and every time. So make sure you check that out. Make sure also, if you're watching us on YouTube, that you hit the subscribe button. We need you to subscribe to the channel, please, and thank you. Follow us on socials as well at Sports Stove. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. All right, so let's talk about the top 100. Real quick before we do that, we see that the first round has at the moment leveled out. I think we're going to see one more trade that involves a first-round pick before the draft happens. I think we're going to see some movement. I don't think it'll be for Max Crosby, but I think we're going to see some movement still from there, looking at some different teams. I think Washington might be trying to move down a little bit from where they are at 7. And I think we could see some movement going. Even that probably won't happen until draft day, but I think there could be some movement where a team says, hey, I really want to go out and get this person to kind of solidify my roster before the draft. That helps us in the draft as well. So let's keep an eye out for some movement there as well. I've been working on my next mock draft as well. We're still probably a couple weeks away from actually dropping that. I will admit, I think the first couple picks, the Raiders, that's locked in, right, with Fernando Mendoza. But I think Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants, Browns is really, really intriguing to see what goes on, especially when you look at the free agent signings that have gone on. And we've got some really good players at the top of the draft. Not all of them fit perfectly. For example, the Jets, they need a linebacker more than they need an edge at the moment. But it doesn't seem like Sonny Styles would be the pick there at 2. It seems more like Arvell Reese. So maybe Arvell Reese will play linebacker in his rookie year and then maybe some edge there and then eventually shift to edge. I have no idea. We'll figure it out. Before it's all said and done, we'll figure it out. So, all right, let's get into the top 100. And I'm really confident in my top 52. After that, I admit, I think there's going to be a ton of fluctuation from there as well. So let's get started with the top. Jeremiyah Love, running back, Notre Dame. Lock it in. Best player in the draft. I don't even think it's questionable. I just think that what he gives you, his receiving ability, his running ability, his blocking ability, just the playmaking ability, everything that is there, and we saw it in college, the consistency there as well. Jeremiyah Love is the best player in the draft. I think the safest player in the draft as well goes there. At number 2 on my board, this is going to ruin the edge rankings, by the way, the episode dropping on Monday. But number 2 for me is Reuben Bain. Reuben Bain Jr. out of Miami. I know the short arms. I get it. I know there's all this different talk. David Bailey's jumped him. Everybody thinks Bailey's better. Arvell Reese is above him on pretty much everyone else's boards too. But I cannot put aside what we saw Reuben Bain do on the field. And he's going to be dominant. He's going to be really good in the NFL. He could go as early as number 2. He could go as late as number 9, I think is the farthest that he would fall. But I think he's the second best player in the draft. He's number 2 on my big board. Number 3 is Arvell Reese from Ohio State. Again, if you listen to our linebacker episode, I explained it this way. He's a superstar. He's got the superstar potential, but there is a small possibility of bust in Arvell Reese as well. And I think the biggest thing for Arvell Reese is where he goes. If the coaches don't know how to use him, it could really be a problem, I think. So with all that, there's versatility, which is a good thing, right? But there's also that potential of the versatility hurting him more than helping him if he goes to the wrong team. But his talent is there. I've got him at number 3 on the big board, followed by his college teammate Sonny Styles at number 4. And I've said this all along, too, of the linebackers, Sonny Styles is the safest pick. Jeremiyah is the safest in the draft, but Sonny is the safest pick of the linebackers. He is so athletic, so uber talented, and can do so much for you. He's not going to fit every team, even in that top 5. There's a potential he doesn't go in the top 5. I think he will, but there's a potential he won't go in the top 5 because he is a off-ball linebacker. So doesn't change the fact that he's uber talented. Number 4 on the big board. Number 5, Jordan Tyson. 6, David Bailey. 7, Caleb Downs. 8, Mansour Delane. 9, Carnell Tate. And 10, Fernando Mendoza. So with those, Jordan Tyson, number 1 receiver, has been on my board from the get-go. I do not think he'll get drafted first. I think Carnell Tate will get drafted first. He has that Ohio State bump where we've had these JSNs and we've had the Marvin Harrisons and we've had Ibuka last year, and we've had all these Ohio State receivers come through. He's getting a boost off of that. I think he's good. I've got him at number 9 on my big board, but I think that Tyson's better. So Tyson's at number 5. David Bailey, I really like the edge rusher out of Texas Tech at number 6. Caleb Downs at 7. Again, talented for sure. I didn't love what I saw this year in Caleb Downs, and that does concern me a little bit when you look at the expectations versus the reality. But he has the IQ, and that's what I really, really like about him. And when you're able to have that IQ, especially at the position of safety, you're going to make it work. I know Richard Sherman played corner, but it's that same idea of if you can see it, if you know what's happening, you will figure it out. So I really like him. I've got him at number 7. I think he could take a small fall in the draft, but again, just because he's a safety. Mansour Delane at 8, best cornerback in the draft. Carnell Tate at 9, and then Mendoza, the first and only quarterback in my top 50 for sure. We'll get to Ty Simpson later here in the program. So that's the top 10 on my big board. Here we go. Keeping it rolling. Now we get to some offensive linemen. You say, where have they been? Number 11. I've got Oliva Vega Ione from Penn State. I have just pounded the drum for Ione all along. I think he's the best offensive lineman in the draft. He will not be drafted above the tackles, although everyone keeps saying Maui Noah and Fano are going to be guards in the NFL. Well, then why wouldn't you take Ione above them? He's better at being a guard than those two players. But nonetheless, that's a conversation for the mock draft. Spencer Fano, I've got right behind him at number 12. Great athleticism there at the offensive line. I believe he's a right tackle in the NFL, but he could play guard as well. 13, Mekhi Lemon. Man, I'm scared of Mekhi Lemon, but you cannot deny the talent that is there. And so I've got him at number 13. 14 is Cassius Howell, the edge out of A&M. 15, Francis Maui Noah out of Miami. This is a pretty big flip for me. I've had Maui Noah above Fano for a while, but there's just the things that you continue to watch, listen, pay attention to, all these things. I got Fano above him now. So Maui Noah comes in at 15. Keldrick Falk at 16 out of Auburn. I think he is going to be undervalued here in the first round. If he goes in the top 16, then maybe not. But I think we might see him go closer to 20, and I think it'll be a steal if they get him down there. At number 17, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. I have been lower on him than a lot of people. Not low, of course. He's 17 on my big board, but I don't see him as a game-changing tight end. But I believe that he can step in day one, be a starter, and be an effective tight end, a good tight end, and have a really good career, especially the way the NFL works now with tight ends as well. Then at 18 and 19, I've got back-to-back receivers, Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion. And to round out the top 20, Peter Woods out of Clemson. Again, this is a guy, he had his pro day here this week. Looked good, but has some limitations because of a hamstring injury, I guess. Had a really bad year this year. Coming into the year, was highly touted as a top 5 pick, all this kind of stuff, and just the year did not go well, which it didn't go well for anybody on Clemson for that matter. So Peter Woods, I've got him at number 20. I think he's probably going to get drafted probably in the 20s is where I'm thinking right now. But I think if someone's willing to take him, maybe a Carolina up there at 19, which I know isn't a whole lot higher, maybe even Tampa at 15, I think it would still be a really good value for him there. All right, that's the top 20. Let's keep it rolling. 21 through 30. Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, the tackle. TJ Parker out of Clemson, the edge rusher, followed by his teammate Avion Terrell out of Clemson, the cornerback at 23. 24, I got Chris Brazzell, the Tennessee wide receiver. 25, Caden Proctor, the tackle out of Alabama. I really like Freeling and Proctor as projects. I think the rookie year could be rough for them. But again, if they can get in and learn and grow, if you're able to be patient with them their rookie year, both of them have the athletic ability and the size to develop into something really special in the NFL. So I like them both a lot, but I've got them both in here in this 21 for Freeling, 25 for Proctor. Brazzell, I've moved him around a little bit in my wide receiver rankings. I've got him at 24. Size, speed, what you saw him do this year, it's going to translate to the NFL. And then again, Terrell at 23. And Jermod McCoy is the number 2 cornerback on a lot of people's lists. I have dropped him down. He's the 4th now on my list. I have to see him. If he comes out in the Tennessee Pro Day, performs well, then I'll probably bump him back up. But to this point, I think he's either still really hurt or have just really bad advisors that he's listening to. So I'm dropping him down because I can't trust him. So I've got Terrell at 23. Now let's move on 26 through 30. Caleb Banks from Florida. The news did just come out about his foot being broken. So I'm probably going to drop him a little bit. Not a ton. It's an injury he can recover from and come back from. But I'm probably going to drop him down before the draft, of course, there. But right now he's at 26. C.J. Allen, the linebacker, at 27. Colton Hood, the Tennessee cornerback, at 28. Zion Young, Mizzou edge, at 29. And Anthony Hill Jr., the Texas linebacker, at 30. Again, I jumped Hood over McCoy at this point because of I've been able to see it, right? And I haven't been able to see it with McCoy. I like C.J. Allen and Anthony Hill at linebacker, and both of them have first-round grades in my book, and I love them in this range, especially. I think Allen, right now I have him down at 26 to the Bills. That could change, of course, but again, off-the-ball linebacker, but really good. Anthony Hill has a little bit of growth to do, but his athleticism's off the charts. Okay, so that's the top 30. 31 through 40 goes like this. Zechariah Branch, Georgia receiver. 32, Dylan Thieneman, the Oregon safety. 33, Caleb Lomu, the Utah tackle. 34, we finally hit him. Jermod McCoy, the corner out of Tennessee. 35, Omar Cooper, the wide receiver out of Indiana. 36, Eli Stowers, the tight end. 37, Ty Simpson, the second quarterback, and I only have 2 quarterbacks in my top 100. Ty Simpson hits in at 37. Caden McDonald, the tackle, defensive tackle out of Ohio State, at 38. R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma, the edge, at 39. And Brandon Cisse from South Carolina, the cornerback, at 40. Again, all of these guys are first-round grades for me still. That doesn't mean that they'll go in the first round. You can't have 40 guys go in the first round. But I think they all fit into that category. A couple things. 32, Dylan Thieneman, the safety. I've played around a little bit with safeties. I really like A.J. Holsey out of LSU, but I couldn't kid myself anymore. I moved him down to the 3rd safety, moved Thieneman up to the 2nd safety, and he cracks at 32. I'm actually going to be mocking him in the first round for the first time in my next mock draft as well. Caleb Lomu, I'm actually growing on him. I've been down on him leading up to this point of the process, but I'm starting to grow a little bit on him, especially because of where his value is. Late first-round value, to me, that's you can't go wrong with that. Omar Cooper from Indiana, I've got him at 35. Some of these guys have got him up in their top 15, and I just can't see that. I can't do it. But I think he's really good at 35 there. Eli Stowers, the tight end out of Vanderbilt. Man, yeah, it's just like put him in the right spot, please. Just put him in the right spot, and he will blossom in the NFL. Ty Simpson, I already mentioned, the quarterback. I like him. I don't love him. I think he needs to go in the 2nd round. If someone trades up and get him in the 1st, I think it's a mistake. But if you can get him in the 2nd, I like it a lot there. So he's the only one of this group, I guess, that's questionable for me. But you bump up quarterbacks. R. Mason Thomas, the edge rushers, there's a lot of good ones. We'll get to more in just a moment. And Cisse out of Carolina, I really like him a lot too. I have him mocked in the 1st round also. So there you go. 41 through 50, Chris Johnson, the cornerback out of San Diego State. Guard Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon at 42. Defensive tackle Christian Miller out of Georgia at 43. Cornerback, D'Angelo Pons, Indiana at 44. Jennings Dunker, the tackle out of Iowa at 45. Max Ian Aker from Arizona State at 46. I still have Dunker right above him. Again, it's just a little bit more of the current setting versus the what could be, I suppose, with those two. Let's see here. Then after that, we've got Gabe Jacas out of Illinois, the edge at 47. AJ Halsey, the safety out of LSU at 48. Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle out of Texas Tech at 49. And then Akeem Mesidor, the edge out of Miami at 50. So with these guys, listen, I'm high on Gabe Jacas. I got him as a second-round pick. I think that if a team can snag him in the top 40, the top 50, there's great value there. He's going to be a phenomenal pro. He's got the size, 6'3", 275. He's got the ability. It's all there. You go on the opposite side of size, it's D'Angelo Pons at 44 for me. I love him. I mean, you watch him play, and he produces. Now, he is 5'9", so there is that's going to be a problem. But there have been few NFL players that have succeeded even undersized, and I think he'll be one of those few as well. Akeem Mesidor at 50 for me. I don't see him as a first-round pick. I can't get there. I don't understand what the love affair is with Mesidor right now. I got him at 50, so if he goes, in 30, 31, 32, it's not that much different, but still, if my team, which the Packers do not have a first-round pick, if they drafted him in the first round, I'd be irate. So if they got him at 52, I would not be irate, but I just do not see him as a top 32 player in this draft. So I've got him at number 50. All right, let's go through a few more here. I've got the safety Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at 51. And I almost put him lower. I'm struggling to get there with him too. And I know that he's been a popular name, and boy, he rose up the boards quickly. Second round, fine. But if he gets drafted in the first round, people are missing something. And maybe it's me that's missing it. That's possible, but probably not. Jacob Rodriguez at 52. The linebacker, Darian Price, the second running back, comes in at 53. Two wide receivers back-to-back for 54 and 55. It's Elijah Surratt, Indiana, Malachi Fields, Notre Dame. Good size on both of those guys. Great day two picks there as well. We get a center and Connor Liu from Auburn at 56. Romello Heights and Joshua Josephs, the edge is from Texas Tech and Tennessee, come in at 57 and 58. 59 is Antonio Williams, the Clemson wide receiver. And 60 is running back number 3, Jonah Coleman out of Washington. I really love this grouping here between Jacob Rodriguez and Jonah Coleman here between 52 and 60. Like, these are uber talented guys that if you get them in day two, whether it's second round or third round, you've done well. You've done what you needed to do. I've got them projected as second round picks. I love all of them. I'd be happy if the Packers picked any of them. So there you go. 61 is one of my favorite players in the draft, Will Lee III out of A&M. 6'3", 190, cornerback, super athletic. I think he gives you a lot there in the defensive backfield. 62, Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern. 63, Keith Abney from Arizona State. 64, Jacoby Lane, wide receiver, USC. Back-to-back corners, so 61 through 66 is 4 cornerbacks here. 65 is Davison Igbenosum from Ohio State, and 66, Keontae Scott from Miami. So I see as late round 2, early round 3 as a great spot to pick one of these cornerbacks up. 67, another offensive lineman, Austin Searveld from Ohio State. 68, Dominique Orange, Iowa State defensive tackle, 6'4", 325. He's kind of my sneaky Packer pick at 52, which is a little higher than I like him, but he just seems to kind of fit what the Packers typically draft. 69, Blake Miller, the tackle out of Clemson, offensive tackle. And then we get a third tight end. Max Clare comes in at number 70. Let's see. Not a whole lot to comment, I guess. Let's just get through it, right? Takario Davis comes in at 71, cornerback, Washington State. LT Overton out of Alabama at 72. Chris Bell, the Louisville wide receiver, at 73. And again, injury issues. So is he going to get drafted in the top 73? That's something I'll play around with a little bit more as we continue to get closer to the draft. But again, 6'2", 220, lots of talent. And so he's there at 73. Two linebackers come in next. Kyle Louis from Pitt or Lewis, and Josiah Trotter from Mizzou in at 74 and 75. Dante Corleone from Cincinnati, the defensive tackle at 76. I was really high on him early in the year and like top of second round high on him at one point. Now I've got him all the way down here at 76. So obviously not as high as I used to be, but still third round, great pickup there. Two linebackers at 77 and 78. Also, Jake Galladay from Cincinnati, Deontay Lawson from Alabama coming there. Cornerback Malik Muhammad from Texas at 79. And we've got some more running backs. Emmett Johnson from Nebraska at 80. 81 is Skylar Gill-Howard, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech. And 82, another running back, Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas. I've jumped him up a little bit here after his performance at the Combine and just continue to show off what he can do athletically. I had to bump him up. So he's up at 82 now. 83, Kalen Rutledge from Georgia Tech, the guard, and Sam Hecht, the center from Northwestern at 84. We're almost there, guys. 85 is Bud Clark, the safety out of TCU, followed by the Penn State safety, Zaki Wheatley at 86. I actually like those guys better than I like the Toledo safety, but I know that they will not be drafted anywhere close to where he's going to be drafted at as well. 87 is a cornerback, Jair Hill from Michigan. 88, tight end Justin Jolly from NC State. 89, a guard, Chase Besantis from A&M. Defensive tackle Darrell Jackson comes in at 90 out of Florida State. Our last 10, Kamari Ramsey, the safety out of USC at 91. Jeremy Bernard, the receiver out of Alabama, 92. 6'1", 204, just inconsistent in college. So, again, if he could come in and be a wide receiver 3 somewhere or wide receiver 4 maybe even as a rookie, or does he end up like some of those other guys that we've seen kind of float around here recently, John Mechie kind of type as well. 93, Tim Keelan, Alabama defensive tackle. 94, Jake Slaughter, the center out of Florida. Our last cornerback comes in at 95, Chandler Rivers out of Duke. Then we've got another safety at 96, Genesis Smith from Arizona. An edge rusher, Derek Moore out of Michigan at 97. Running back, Katron Allen out of Penn State at 98. Tight end, Jack Indries from Texas. I've got him at 99. And rounding out the top 100 is Danny Dennis Sutton at Penn State edge right there at 100. I was super high on him coming into the year. He underperformed this year, which, again, kind of everyone did at Penn State. But nonetheless, I got him rounding out the top 100. It was a fight between him and Harold Perkins Jr., who I absolutely love out of LSU, and he won out there at pick 100. All right, 23 minutes in. We got through 100 players very, very quickly. So feel free to leave your comments. Who did I overrate? Who did I underrate? Who did I leave off the list that should definitely be there? And just how do you agree or disagree with the top 100? I will have one more, guaranteed one more top 100 before the draft, possibly two more. But I think my plan is to probably hold off until draft week to drop my final top 100. Then we've got episodes coming up. We'll be giving our edge ratings and why and all that good stuff to talk a little bit more in detail about these guys as well. We've got to get some defensive line rankings out also. So we got more stuff coming down the pipeline there. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate it. If you stuck around for the whole thing, running through a list of 100 players is not always entertaining. So thank you. Thank you for sticking around for it. You know what would have made this show a lot better if you were able to snack on some Righteous Felon Jerky while you were listening. So what you need to do is go to righteousfelon.com, order you up some bootleg and barbecue, my favorite flavor, or maybe some, let's see here, teriyaki balboa is great. The Soul Survivor, phenomenal. Grab you, get the variety pack, try a couple flavors. Settle down and watch the show next time. All right. You use the promo code STOVE15 to get 15% off your purchase each and every time at righteousfelon.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube and follow on social media at Sports Stove, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.